why supporters of democracy and good governance should have Mitch McConnell in their prayers. All that and more now on Graph's Grievances. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell appearing to freeze up again yesterday during a news conference with reporters. The 81-year-old Republican beginning to answer a question before abruptly stopping his speech for 30 seconds while standing motionless with his eyes fixed straight ahead. The scary moment coming just a few weeks after the senior senator from Kentucky experienced a similar episode where he abruptly froze and stared off into space for around 20 seconds. McConnell's office has been far from transparent about the senator's health, but back in March they did disclose that McConnell had a concussion after falling in a DC hotel. The longest-serving Senate leader has made clear he has no plans to step down, but Republicans are preparing for his departure behind the scenes. And that is a very scary prospect. Despite the plethora of policy disagreements Democrats have with McConnell, he is a principled conservative who has repeatedly fought the worst intentions and inclinations of Donald Trump and his acolytes. McConnell famously blaming Trump for the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, calling him, quote, practically and morally responsible for the horrific day. Trump returning the fire, calling for McConnell's replacement as the Senate Republican leader. The animosity not ending there. McConnell blaming Trump for the Republicans' inability to win back control of the Senate last year after Trump backed several extreme MAGA candidates. This prompting Trump to criticize McConnell's leadership and launch a series of racist attacks against McConnell's wife and Trump's former transportation secretary, Elaine Chao. The two have reportedly not been speaking since December 2020. The ever-escalating tit-for-tat between McConnell and Trump, a microcosm of the war within the Republican Party. And despite McConnell getting reelected as Senate Republican leader last year, in the broader Republican Party, it is Trump and his MAGA supporters that are winning. The former president dominating the race for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. This, despite the fact that Trump was impeached twice, lost to President Joe Biden once, and is now facing 4 criminal indictments. Following McConnell's latest public health scare, President Biden called McConnell a, quote, good friend, and said he would get in touch with him later in the day. President Biden's kindness and humanity is sadly an extreme rarity in politics today. While the two octogenarians disagree on most issues, they have a cordial relationship and over the past 4 years have worked together to pass the first gun safety legislation in nearly 30 years and a historic $1 trillion infrastructure bill. But you can be certain that whoever replaces McConnell as Senate Republican leader will not be nearly as collegial and will likely be openly hostile to working with Democrats and President Biden. And should McConnell not be able to serve out the remainder of his term in the Senate, which ends in 2026, he is guaranteed to be replaced by a Republican. 2 years ago, Kentucky's General Assembly changed the laws regarding how the Commonwealth fills U.S. Senate vacancies. Instead of the governor getting to appoint whoever they want to fill the seat, now the governor has to choose from a list of names provided by leaders from the same party as the senator who formerly held the seat. This meaning that Kentucky's Democratic governor, Andy Beshear, would have to select a replacement for McConnell from a list provided to him by Republicans. And the Republicans on that list will likely be far more extreme than McConnell. Remember, Kentucky's other Republican U.S. Senator is the radical Rand Paul, who has not only sent the Justice Department a criminal referral for Dr. Anthony Fauci, but has called for massive cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. The 60-year-old Paul, far more representative of Republicans in Kentucky than the elderly McConnell. And that is why all supporters of democracy, decency, and good governance should hope that McConnell is not only able to serve out the remainder of his term, but remains Senate Minority Leader until the Republican Party divorces itself from Trump and his madness. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Let me know what you think. Please subscribe and join me tomorrow for more.